now this past season, I don't know, was it three people who wore it often, like at every game. Those extended extra padding. So just tossing it out there. This is 2026 now. Can you imagine the next 5 years or so, or the next 10 years with the NFL, how many more people will start wearing these bigger helmets to help decrease, and whether they understand the concept. That player who's out there with these helmets may not understand the math of the physics of it, meaning that if I increase the amount of time it takes to come to a stop, like my brain, right, my spinal cord, then I can decrease the amount of brain damage or force that's going to come to me. They may not understand the actual mathematics of it, but that's the whole purpose of it. Now, I said this last class period, and somebody who plays baseball really doesn't believe me. Here's another sport that takes some pretty good hits, baseball. I bet baseball is going to change up their stuff a little bit. I kind of see it. Can you imagine you're up there in the batter's box, and you've got a major league pitcher throwing a legit fastball, and they pull out everything they have in them, and it's 102, and it hits you in the head. You know what I mean? I understand that you're out there batting, and you have a helmet, but 102 miles per hour baseball coming at your head, I mean, it hurts when it hits your body. But coming at your head, your brain, I don't know. What about the catcher? Not only do they wear helmets, but what else do they wear? They have padding around them to protect them from the collision from the runner who's going to slide into home base, right? So again, this is a legit profession for some engineers that do this for a living. Here's another example here. Now, boxing. It says here, some boxers are taught how to actually take a hit. Like, I'm going to get hit, right? The whole purpose of boxing is to hit somebody, and you're going to get hit throughout the whole. You don't want to get hit, but you're probably going to take a hit. But how do you take a hit the proper way if you're a boxer? It says here, boxers are taught how to ride the punch. They're going to ride the punch. They're going to take it. It's coming. No matter what, you're about to get hit. It says fans of boxing frequently observe the simple principle of minimizing the effect of a force by extending the amount of time of a collision. When a boxer recognizes that they're about to get hit in the head from their opponent, the boxer is going to often relaxes their neck to allow for his head to move backwards upon impact on purpose. It's coming. But I want to reduce the concussion. I want to reduce the amount of broken bones. It says here, in the boxing world, this is known as riding the punch. A boxer rides the punch in order to extend the time of this impact, so that way we can decrease the force on the boxer. So when the punch is coming, you move backwards with it. Kind of like baseball. If you have your glove on, thank goodness you have a glove to catch that baseball. But if you keep your hand out there and you don't move your hand, you're going to catch that ball with that glove. It's going to have a little sting, especially if you got a fastball coming. But if you move your hand back with that ball, it actually extends the amount of time it comes for it to come to a stop. It eases the amount of force you're going to feel on that impact if you go back with the ball versus just catching it and not moving. Okay? So same thing here, riding the punch. Airbags, like we talked earlier on this page. It says here, when we encounter a collision, we know Newton's first law says when the car's moving 80 miles an hour, you're moving 80 miles an hour, your organs are moving 80 miles an hour, and you're going to stay in motion until an outside force causes you to stop. Now, you have a couple of options. You have the windshield, but let's hope that's not it. Let's hope that you know, unfortunately, you're moving towards the windshield. And it's going to be a large force on your body if you hit it or go through it, right? That's the reason why we wear our seat belts. We have airbags and we have crumple zones. All of this here in place so we can make sure that with our airbags, as well as everything else, we can then increase the time of this duration of impact. So with this increase of that amount of time, we can decrease the force, right? Let me tell you the number one mistake when people get into a car wreck. They get into the car wreck and they see it coming and they hold on to the steering wheel and they slam and they keep their foot on the brake as hard as they can. Do you think that because you're pushing down on the brake even harder, that it's going to really come to a stop because you're that strong? You can cause your, no. But holding on to the steering wheel and pushing really hard on the brake is not going to make the car come to a better stop or to a faster, easier stop. What it is that if this car is about to collide into something, it's going to continue, and if you have your hands stiffed out there and your foot really hard on that brake, there's a good chance now you're going to have broken arms and broken legs. What do? What I tell my kids? Jesus, take the wheel and cover your face. There you go. I'm not saying don't push on the gas. Push on the gas. But some people, kind of like if you get into like a really close, like, ooh, that was a mere accident. You've been in a car. Have you, as a passenger or driver, kind of hold on the front of that, the car, right? What if the car actually hit and your body was holding on to it? That's a big no-no, because I don't want you to be broken arms and then you're going to come into class saying I can't do homework. I'm going to say, figure it out. All right? No, don't do that. Cover your face. Jesus, take the wheel. Do not react that way. And then the last couple of words over here is it says padding and helmets. Oh, remember like I said with baseball, hockey. Oh, how about that? Here are a few other examples. Padding, again, a long time ago when I grew up, in dashboards, the dashboard of your car. Some of us, when we get into those close calls, we put our hands on the dashboard if you're the passenger. Push down today, whatever car you get into, push down on that dashboard. You're going to feel that it actually has like a really hard sponge. Long time ago, it used to be complete fiberglass, super hard. Now, most of them have like some type of like spongy material under that dashboard. And then the last part, which we will talk about on Thursday, is follow through. Any of you ever play baseball or softball and they tell you to follow through with that bat? Oh, that's the next topic we'll talk about. Other than that, like I said, I needed a good solid hour